Welcome. This is Eric from EAI, Elemental Arts Initiative, in collaboration with Erosha, bringing you a brief preview of the coming cosmic weather. When Zarathustra was 30 years old, he left his home and the lake of his home and went into the mountains. There he enjoyed his spirit and solitude and did not worry for 10 years. But at last his heart changed. Rising one morning with the rosy dawn, he went before the sun and spoke thus unto it. Thou great star, what would be thy happiness if thou hadst not those for whom thou shinest? For 10 years hast thou climbed hither unto my cave. Thou wouldst have wearied of thy light and journey, had it not been for me, mine eagle and my serpent. I. Thus began Zarathustra's down-going. Friedrich Nietzsche. Zarathustra's prologue. Scorpio and Pluto, a descent into depths. Scorpio is the scorpion, the snake, and the eagle, the phoenix rising from the ashes. It is the sign of transformation. Scorpio and Pluto both ask us to collaborate with the depths of regeneration. When we think of Pluto, it is helpful to see it as the energy we cannot avoid. We all have access to primal fear, the fear of being prey in the dead of night as an animal approaches us in the darkness. Yet we become more alive after confronting it. Can we see that fear is an asset and not judge it? Can we acknowledge the primal parts of ourselves, the fight, the flight, the freeze that has kept us alive? Can we collaborate with this energy? Can we bring consciousness to it and avoid either the suppressing of it or the being unconsciously possessed by it? There is more options than repressing or being possessed. Pluto at 29 degrees of Capricorn is the final call. The 29th degree of Capricorn, where Pluto resides this month, is the last degree that Pluto will be in Capricorn in our lifetime. Since 2008, Pluto has been in Capricorn. This degree is known as the ANARETIC degree, or the crisis degree. In Greek, it means destruction. It is where things reach their breaking point, where destructive forces come into play. But like nature's destructive energy, can we collaborate with this? Can we feel its regenerative power? Pluto in Capricorn has been asking the collective, especially institutions like Wall Street and governments, to take stock. Are our societal structures serving us? Are they practical, loyal, responsible? Are they exhibiting Capricorn's virtues? Or are they breaking down under the weight of corruption and irresponsibility, under the weight of Pluto's gaze? Pluto reveals shadows, compelling us to audit not just ourselves, but our collective systems. It's a time for presence with our souls, our karma, and the collective shadow. Can we be sensitive and open-hearted and valorous in facing not only our truths, but the collectives? The power of Mars and Pluto is a catalyst for transformation. As I speak this, Mars and Pluto are in opposition during a full moon. The same opposition is a preview of what is to come. As Mars and Pluto oppose each other, this can either feel like a violent clash destroying the fabric of our internal selves or our civilization, or can be an opportunity for individual and collective breakthroughs. Can we face the darkest parts of our society without fear? Can we admit our flaws and collaborate for regeneration and transformation? We cannot improve what we refuse to look at. We cannot heal our relationship with nature if we objectify it. Can we embrace the discomfort of facing ourselves and our primal energies? Pluto and Scorpio call us to descend, to break with the ego, and to embrace our immense feelings. The power of Mars and Pluto, as they can protect us, but they also require us to protect ourselves from the inside out through self-love and eternal structures. The myths of descent call us to sit with our shadows and embrace the raw, expansive parts of ourselves. Kali asks us to surrender to the feminine principles, to bring our whole nature into alignment. Can we engage in a spiritual practice not as a routine to escape what is here, but rather as a routine to inhabit more wonder and awe? Can we cultivate self-compassion for our awkward, incoherent parts, all of which are the seeds of regeneration? We must sit with the paradoxes that tear us apart. As Barbara Kruger says, doubt plus uncertainty equals sanity. Every paradox we encounter offers us an opportunity for growth, for plutonic catharsis, and for evolving into a new stage of consciousness. This is the energy of Pluto as it moves into Aquarius, or Uranus as it moves into Gemini, or Neptune as it moves into Aries in these coming years. There is rapid technological advancements. There will be and continue to be the breakdown of structures of support and the rise of shadowy forces, giving the opportunity to face the shadows, both externally and within ourselves. We are witnessing a mass revelation of the shadow, the external shadow of our time, of humanity. But it is also this very shadow that allows us to face our own shadow and the collective shadow and to collaborate with the energies therein. The depth psychology born in the 20th century, seeded by Nietzsche, and then carried forward by the likes of Freud and Jung. Technologies like EMDR and breathwork and psychedelics offer tools to navigate these depths. But we must approach these processes with consciousness and presence and to collaborate with that part of us that doesn't fit, the NQR, the not quite right part of us, and not to be the beta procrustes, chopping off the legs that don't fit, but instead to take our time to have presence and sensitivity and integrity and accountability and valor for the parts of ourselves that don't fit, so that we can be regenerative, so that we can have a catharsis, and so we can live out these myths and be personifications of them. We cannot hold on to our youth. We cannot hold on to our past. We cannot hold on to money and what it gives us. We cannot hold on to our strength. We cannot hold on to even our life. But what we can do is we can hold on, cheesy as it sounds, to our love and to our compassion and to our kindness and to our gentleness and to the parts of us that make room. There's nothing more courageous than to walk with an open heart and be valorous with it. And yet, as I said, hold the paradox, be the warrior, have the strength so as to not let that be destroyed. That is the word of valor. Valor being this word that is courage plus love. All of this takes courage. It takes courage to be gentle. It takes courage to be open. It takes courage to feel. It takes courage to surrender. So when Scorpio rules death and sex, this is what it is. The greatest sex is on the other side of death. The greatest sex is on the other side of performance, the other side of proving, the other side of ego. It is in the dissolving. It is in the oneness that is only there when you don't seek it out. And yet, just like an orgasm, it's a byproduct of valor and integrity and sensitivity and presence and the regenerative accountability of what it is to be impeccable in our thinking and to not hold on to the structures that are there propping up the frailty of our ego. This is what this Scorpio and this last ANARETIC degree of Capricorn, this Pluto in the last degree of Capricorn, this Scorpio season that is Scorpio on top of Scorpio, giving us a last opportunity to adult with the energy of Pluto in Capricorn, so as to launch into the energy of Pluto in Aquarius and to have the structure, the internal structure, the internal lightness of being that can allow us to be regenerative in these coming years. Goethe, writer and poet in The Holding Longing, speaks of this Plutonic energy. Tell a wise person, or else keep silent, because the mass man will mock it right away. I praise what is truly alive, what longs to be burned to death. And the calm water of the love nights, where you were begotten, where you have begotten, a strange feeling comes over you when you see the silent candle burning. Now you are no longer caught in the obsession with darkness, and a desire for higher lovemaking sweeps you upward. Distance does not make you falter. Now, arriving in magic, flying, and finally insane for the light, you are the butterfly and you are gone. And so long as you haven't experienced this, to die and so to grow, you are only a troubled guest on the dark earth. As we inhabit the next month of Scorpio season, let us embrace the death of the parts of ourselves that keep us distant as troubled guests on this dark earth, and instead begin to feel the light in the detritus of our souls and to be at home on earth and in our bodies. Thank you.